Hi everyone, hope you're doing great out there. I am so thankful that you have decided to join us today. This is Love Fully Alive, and I hope if you are a newcomer that you can give us a thumbs up if this is something that you've enjoyed, and maybe even subscribe to Love Fully Alive. This is all about accompanying one another. And so, with that, today we're going to jump right in. We have the topic at hand is shame. Woo! We love shame, don't we? No, we don't. It's not. Well, okay, so there's good and there's bad shame. And the reason we have shame in this world, in this life, is in the beginning it was not so. Remember, there was no shame in the beginning, but because shame entered the world, we have good shame and bad shame. Good shame, well, first let me tell you the reasoning for shame. I think shame is used kind of like a GPS for our conscience. When we feel bad or ashamed of something that we have done, we know that we have to make it right. Okay, so it's like a motivation for greater to come out of ourselves. And bad shame would be when something bad has been done to us and it's caused shame within ourselves. Either one of those shames, God does great things with those. Okay, so I'm going to share with you a little bit about what we were made for and how it was in the beginning, which is Genesis 2:25, right? The man and his wife were both naked and felt no shame. Naked and felt no shame. Can you remember a time when you were that naked and felt no shame? Like nothing to hide, nothing to be ashamed of, and not just talking about physically nakedness, but spiritually, intimately, your interior was naked. There was nothing you were hiding, nothing you were keeping away from so-and-so. Just naked and felt no shame. It's a pretty good feeling to be able to feel that. But in my beginning, it was not so. Just like so many of us out there, right? We struggle with a lot of these things. But one of the big things that I want to share with you is the fact that I became sexually active young. I became pregnant and unmarried. You talk about some shame. And it's so crazy because you don't see yourself as ashamed when you're, well, no, that's a lie. That's another lie that we can buy into. We do feel that shame because we know in our heart of hearts what is good, what is true, what is pure, and what is beautiful. And because of choices we make, we live amongst this shame, right? So in those many years of living in that shameful state, I was resentful. I was filled with bitterness. I was very cynical. I was resentful towards others. Had all these walls built up, like don't believe, I don't trust, I had no security. It was a very broken and wounded state. And that all came about from sexual promiscuity. And just one right after the other, right? I became pregnant. I was not married. It was just stuff. It was awful. It was bad. But the sad thing is during that time, in those years of my choosing to do what I wanted to do, I believed all the lies that I bought into about myself and about others. And those lies, along with the shame, they went hand in hand. They kept me bound. They kept me broken. They kept me lost. They kept me confused. They kept me distant. They kept me closed off. They kept all these walls coming up. And that's not a life that we're called to live. That's not the love fully alive. You talk about death. That was death. That was my own little created hell. And so it kept me bound and even into the depths of hopelessness and despair. So if this is stirring anything within you, please let yourself be freed from that. Don't stay there. Don't stay stuck within yourself with all of that going on, because that's not what God has planned for you. There's so much more, okay? And so now there's a couple scriptures that I want to share with you, and it's 2 Corinthians 10:3-4, and just kind of let it sink in for a moment. For we are in the flesh. We do not battle according to the flesh. For the weapons of our battle are not of flesh. Our weapons that we battle with are not of flesh. So in other words, you should not battle this one all on your own. The weapons that we battle are not of flesh, but are enormously powerful, capable of destroying fortresses. 2 Corinthians 10, 3-4. This battle that we are called to battle in. Remember I said don't stay stuck in your stuff. Cry out to the mercy of God. Cry out and seek healing. Cry out and seek forgiveness. Cry out and be redeemed. Be restored. Become fully alive. And realize that you are not called to battle this on your own. That's what the enemy wants you to believe. He wants to keep us stuck in those lies, in that shame, in that regret, in that resentfulness, in that broken, bitter state. That is not who you are. Come out of that and allow yourself to be helped. Allow yourself to be loved. Allow yourself to be set free from those lies that kept you bound. As big or as little as you think they may be, let yourself be set free. So take 2 Corinthians 10, 3-4 and just reflect and allow yourself to receive truth there. And then follow up with Isaiah 61:7, which I'm just going to paraphrase this one because I think the big things is just to realize that, wow, I had no idea that God saw us this way. You do know that also in Genesis, God has made us in his image, in the divine image of God. We are made in that. Okay, so anyway, Isaiah 61:7 talks about how their shame was doubled. Because their shame was doubled, their inheritance is doubled. And theirs will be everlasting joy. Their inheritance in this double inheritance will be everlasting joy. Don't you want some of that? Yes, we do. And we can tap into that real joy here and now. Don't wait. Don't wait, brothers and sisters. There's so much more to live for. Well, that's it. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Love Fully Alive. Give us a thumbs up if it was helpful. Also, if you're new, go ahead and subscribe.